making friends as an adult is difficult if you haven't, already invested that time making friends. And so the community becomes very important to, support you when you're first learning a new skill, or even just have people interact with. That's, whether you're at the gym and that's your community, or you're on a softball team or something, the community matters. And to me, that seems like a huge part of this.
It is a huge part. And I think that when people think of, especially the audience and the listeners and viewers right now, think of martial arts, they think of like kids taekwondo. Think of karate, like
right, breaking boards.
Yeah. Like you think of like that's the thing that kids do. Like kids put on the pajamas and go do that thing. Yeah. And historically, they're correct, right? Like if you just look, and this is just my guess, 80 to 90% of karate and taekwondo is youth participation, and then you get 10 or 20% adults who kind of graduated out of youth but kept going, and they're you might look at them and go, oh, why do you still do that? Right? That's how you think of that.
Yeah.
With Jiu Jitsu, it's the opposite.
Right.
The world is falling in love with Jiu Jitsu, primarily adults. Children as well, because kids will follow their parents anywhere. But the number of adults are disproportionately adults in these schools, especially our schools, which has been remarkable to see. I mean, we're talking about, like you said, Joe Rogan, Jocko Willink, right? These are figureheads in the world of jiu-jitsu because they're also public figures. Yeah. But then Mark Zuckerberg just fell in love, right? And is admittedly a jiu-jitsu junkie now. And all he's angry about is, why didn't someone tell me sooner?
Yeah.
I mean, we got actors and actresses. Yeah. The list never ends, right? Of people that are intellects, people that are, professionals in every field and endeavor. Yeah. Are doing jiu-jitsu. And then if you're an outsider watching this, you're kind of curious, like, well, hold on. Something that I thought was notoriously like child associated, kids do that thing. Why is all this pop culture, all these public figures, all these top thought leaders, why are they falling in love with this freaking thing called Brazilian jiu-jitsu? And now you know why. Yeah. After today, you're like, holy cow. It's so easy to fall in love with, because I showed you 5 problems today and I gave you 5 solutions. Yeah. And you're better today than you were yesterday because of those answers. Yeah. So then your brain starts going, and what you're thinking now is, shoot, I did all that in a single lesson. Yeah. Imagine if I did a second lesson, what would come in terms of new problems, new solutions, and an elevated sense of confidence. Yeah. Double what you feel today. If we stand at this range right here, put your fist out, you can hit me, but I can hit you. So this is normal for people. Fight like a man means they stand in front of each other and they trade punches until someone gets knocked out, and it's a kind of a 50-50 draw at best. Right? And we don't want to engage in that. So the strategy of Jiu-Jitsu, instead of standing what we call in this red zone, where we are at striking range from each other, which is a disaster and unsafe, instead of that, we're right here, where you can't strike me, but I can't strike you. Right. Now, if you take one step forward, I'm right here. Take another step, I'm right here. So there's no access. So if you're the aggressor in a street fight, I'm keeping the distance, this is called. Now, eventually, as I'm stepping back, what are you thinking? This guy's scared. It emboldens the attacker, like, yo, I'm gonna get him. Yeah. And then eventually, when he loads up to throw a big punch, look, I go in, and now we're here. And now it's whoop, down we go. And now we're back in the exact same situation we just talked about. Boom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it again. Let's see what happened right there. So the whole point, Brian, is it's called managing the distance. Yeah. Because in a fight, whoever manages the distance manages the damage that can be done. It's that simple. This is true for kickboxing, it's true for UFC, true for any MMA. When you see it, you're like, man, who's controlling the distance? This is what they mean by that. Yeah. If I'm right here, I can't hit you, but you can't hit me. Right. Okay? Now, the key is I'll take a few steps back to draw you in. And then when you get emboldened and you go to commit to your attack, I go the opposite direction. And I go right at you. And that change of distance and velocity throws you off, because you're expecting to hit me where I stand. Yeah. And when I rush in with my hands over my head, it throws off the distance so much that you cannot then recalibrate that strike and hope that it's too congested. Yeah. Right? Because you get one chance and I'm coming in. Yeah. So step again towards me. 1, 2, steps, 2. And he throws a punch. Look slow. Hands are gonna go up. I'm gonna lunge you with my front foot. I'm gonna impact your chest. Once I'm in the zone here, my goal is to clinch your body. Look. And now, even though you can hit me from here, what's the level of knockout power from this close? Because it's just your arm versus being your whole body. Wow!